Whoa, hello, bike, hello, fucking runaway bike. What the Yo, what's up guys, it's Beardo back again for Vlogaday. I believe today is day number 5. Coming up to on being a first week, 1 video every day, only 300 something more to go. Our goal is to make it to day 255, which funny enough happens to be on September 11th. So that's going to be a pretty easy one to remember. 1 video every day until 9/11. And if we make a video on 9/11 and the day after 9/11, we've officially beat our personal best for a video every day. I did this once back in like 2012 or 2013, and like I said, we only made it to 255. We did not complete it, so I'm trying to. Stop it! I don't need to hear you right now. It's currently like 3 o'clock. I slept like absolute crap last night. My nose was just all stuffy. I couldn't breathe. My stomach felt bad. I was on the toilet. It was just not a good night. So needless to say, when 7 o'clock hit and Rocky decided he was ready for his food today, I made him go back to sleep. We slept until like, I think 9. And then I got up, edited the video, and really just been hanging out with the dogs, watched some YouTube, kind of a lazy day. And I just finally went outside. I got my jacket on here, and it's really not that cold out. There is pretty much no wind. I've already almost wasted the whole day away. So I said yesterday we were going to go play some disc golf today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to jump on the bike, go play some disc golf. I think the GoPro should be charged enough. I can just have the GoPro up here on my helmet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's going to be the majority of today's video. It's just going to be a ride on the dirt bike. I originally wanted to do this mod. I think I've been talking about it. This here is a foot peg, basically, that goes in front of your other foot peg. And the whole idea is that you can get your foot up under it, and with your toe, you can like lock yourself into the bike as you're practicing wheelies. I want to install it today, and I probably could. It's just, if I do, I'm definitely going to run out of daylight. The sun sets, basically around 5 o'clock here right now, and it's already 3:30. So we basically have like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I can take the dirt bike, go to the disc golf course, play around, make it back home before daylight, or before dark, and as well as in plenty of time to feed these guys for dinner. So sorry, dude. You're just gonna have to hang out in your cage for a little longer. I know, it's no fun. I gave you a chew toy. I gave you a bone. He like lost that bone, and then I found it in the couch, and I thought he'd be real happy to have it, but he just doesn't like being locked up. Who would? I wouldn't want to be stuck in a cage. Unfortunately, he can't be trusted. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go grab the black bike, grab the disc golf bag, and let's go throw some frisbees. All right, something else real quick before I leave. Another thing we're going to do tomorrow that I was going to do today, but again, I'm just running out of daylight, and I know by the time I get home, it's going to be dark. I was trying to find some old things, and I found my old slingshot. Now, I don't think the rubber is in the best of shape. I don't even know what happened or what this is, but I've pulled it back a few times, and it seemed to be okay. And I have here some projectiles for the slingshot, and I have a little squirrel target. Here, I'll just show it to you real quick. It's in the backyard. If you walk through my awesome, clean, super organized house, we go into the laundry room here, which is super organized and clean. And out to the backyard. And if you zoom in, all the way over there, there's a little squirrel guy, a little squirrel target. And the idea is you're supposed to hit the red, and then obviously the red goes down, and then when you hit the yellow, it's supposed to reset the red. The problem is the little BB pistol shooter, whatever thing that I use, isn't strong enough to reset the target. So you basically hit the red, and then it's just you can shoot the yellow, but it doesn't actually reset. So I'm hoping the slingshot with those bigger projectiles, maybe we will actually be able to, well, number one, if I even hit the squirrel, I'll be pretty impressed. Number two, if I can hit the squirrel, hit the red thing, and knock it down, I'll be really impressed. And 3, if we hit the red, knock it down, and hit the yellow and reset it, I'd I don't think it's going to happen. I'm actually just going to be realistic. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be really cool. So, yeah, we'll try that tomorrow. Let's go play some disc golf. Hopefully the park doesn't have snow like this, because this shoe kind of has a hole in it, which means I'm going to have a wet sock. So hopefully when we get there, there's no snow like this. But I guess we will see once we get there. Come on, Lola. Come on. Come inside, baby. Go lay down. Come on. Good girl. Alright, GoPro's on our helmet. Go ahead and get that on, because safety first. And now, anywhere I look, you guys look. I really need to get one of those quick release buckles for like motorcycle helmets. I used to have one back when I had a motorcycle, and then I crashed that motorcycle, and obviously had to get rid of the helmet, and I think I got rid of the buckle. Probably just left it right on the helmet. Just kind of a bummer. But yeah, I need to get another one of those. This is my second disc golf bag. It's my smaller one. There used to be a pocket on the outside here, but good old Rocky decided to tear it up. Alright. Should have a full charge to make it there and back, no problem. Whoa, hello, bike, hello. Runaway bike! What the f***? I'm glad the garage door is already got a bunch of dents in it. Why is the bike doing that? I've never had that happen before. It's like the throttle. Oh, I remember. So, it's actually broken. And sometimes the plastic piece gets stuck and it doesn't let it unthrottle. Man, that was stinking scary. All I was trying to do is get the key out. And I couldn't get the key out because the key's bent. And we're just doing donuts. Oh, at least it was on film. Whoa, hello, bike, hello. Runaway bike. What the f***? At least we got it on camera. There goes my sister. She lives over there. Let's go chase her, see where she's going. She's probably turning though. Yep, there she goes. She's going that way, we're going this way. So, I was worried I was gonna be too cold because the outside temperature is, it's like 40 degrees. So, hopefully you guys can hear me, by the way. I really apologize if you can't hear me. There's basically no wind, as you see. The trees aren't moving. So, hopefully, if I just ride slow enough, you guys can hear me, no problem. I really need to look into the future and getting like one of those microphones that, oh man, I adjusted my brakes because I wanted to work on wheelies. And they are nice, like too sensitive now. I actually might have to take that off just a smidge. So I know they make microphones that like people that do a lot of motorcycle riding, you know, if you go on an 8-hour ride and you got the person behind you, you're not gonna sit there and want to yell in their ear. So they make microphones that basically go on the inside of the helmet, and then I think they just connect like through Bluetooth or something. I don't really 100% know how they work, but I feel like if I were to record a video like this and then I had a different microphone at the very least, if I could just record the audio from that microphone, then I could just overlay it over the video. But I feel like the technology is definitely advanced enough. There should be microphones that go in your helmet that maybe even have a cord and I can just plug right into the GoPro. Not really 100%. I haven't done the research. I've just seen other people with them and, you know, follow other people on YouTube that obviously do a bunch of bike videos, and like you don't hear any wind or anything. Like their audio is nice and clear, so there definitely is a way. I just have to figure it out or ask somebody. Pretty much gonna take the back way to get there. See Mr. Officer sitting over there in that parking lot. They love sitting there waiting for people speeding on this road that just fly on by. Hopefully he doesn't decide to pester us. Usually when they're sitting there, like where he is right now, it looks like he's probably just on break, because he's not like sticking out far enough to do radar. And like right now, you can't even tell he's there. He's basically invisible. So, you know, just on the clock, getting paid to sit there and do nothing. But he can't see us, doesn't bother us. I really don't care. I should look on the map. I don't really know exactly how far it is to get there. Maybe a mile, if that. I don't even know if it's a full mile. Should be no problem for the bike, especially driving this slow. The faster I go, the colder it is. So the slower I go, it's definitely warmer. Got the dirt bike tires off-road on, so hopefully this snow and slush isn't a problem. Should have plenty of traction. Although the sidewalk here, whoever plowed it, they got all the bark on the sidewalk, so take a shortcut through this parking lot because we're about to go that way anyways. Oh man, I got a new shock for this back rear seat, and guys, I should have done that like day one on this bike. It is so much. It basically takes what was a kid's toy and makes it now good for adults. Like this shock, I could just ride probably over a 3-4 foot gap, and this shock's not even gonna blink. Like it's probably overkill for the bike, but it was like 50 bucks, so I'm not gonna complain. I'd rather have a shock that's too good than a shock, you know, that just bottoms out, which the front suspension, it still is gonna bottom out. Like even if you just ride over a curb, these front shocks are pretty much useless. But something's better than nothing, and as long as you're smart and you know how to ride, like if you ride over something, don't go nose down, lift up a bit, let the back tire hit first, let that back rear shock take the brunt of the force, and then you're good. You can see, go over here real quick. Dude, I am not used to how good these brakes are now. It's weird having brakes that are actually good on this bike. And I only have one. I don't even have a front. I just have this rear. I'm gonna go up in these people's driveway here. Look how close we are to the river. So like, I mean, you saw how we got here. I basically almost live on the river. If there was like a straight road from my road all the way, and there was a bridge, like I could actually go across. There's just, unfortunately, not a bridge. See all the frozen ice that's been moving downstream because it's been getting so warm. You know, there's a big soccer complex over there. I used to play over at that soccer complex when I was a kid. And there's a path over there that I've rode before on the bike. It's actually quite a fun path. One of these days we will go out there and check it out. Nothing really too interesting to see. It's mainly just kind of a bike path, you know, that people run on and stuff. But it's kind of nice. It's not too bad. Oh man, I'm cold. I can't wait to get to the park and not be riding no more. As much as I said I wanted to go on this trip to go for a ride, it's cold. It is cold. Ooh. I'm glad I left this jacket on. I was like loading up my discs and stuff and kind of just screwing around outside for a minute. And you see that? There's a pot lid. Why is there a pot lid? That's so random. And the fact it's not broken, that's even more random. I can hear my brakes. I think I definitely made them a little too tight. I have to get home and fix that. Should be okay for now. Maybe they'll just break themselves in. I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by the pot lid. Forgot what I was saying. I can hear a car. There it is. Do a little off-road. Oh, there's trees down. Can we make it? Oh. Yeah, I forget. I remembered. I forget. Now I remembered. So I was gonna take this off because just being outside, like, there's no wind. So without moving and having the wind, you know, in my face, it's pretty warm out. Like, it's 40 degrees. Was that car or was that me? I think it was the van. But for a second, I thought those were my brakes. Interesting. Geez. 3 minutes later, and I finally get to my point. I was gonna take this off, and then I was like, you know what? We'll just leave it on. I'd rather be a little too warm than be cold, because I know once you get moving on the bike, obviously, you know, there can be no wind, and you got wind in your face because you're moving, right? So, yeah, I'm glad I left it on. I'm right at that edge of it's doable. It's not miserable, but just a little uncomfortable. Like, just a little bit of burr. It'd be nice once we get home. I think I left the heat on and everything. It'd be nice and warm inside. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'd say it's probably, I can't get my watch up, it's under my sleeve. I'd say it's probably about 4-ish right now, 4 o'clock. And it's already getting dark. Obviously it's a little overcast, so that doesn't help, but that sun is going behind the clouds and it's getting dark quick. The course we're going to is not very big. Like, and what I mean by that is all the holes are pretty short. So like, you go to some disc golf courses and they might have a hole that's 1,000 feet or 900 feet, or, you know, the average is probably like 400, 500 feet. This course that I'm going to is what they basically call a pitch and putt course. And I don't think they have a hole over 257, like definitely under 300. Yeah, my brakes are, it is me squeaking. That's not good, but it is what it is. I don't think I brought an Allen wrench. I have a crescent wrench, but that ain't gonna do me no good, because then I'm just gonna make the brakes too loose, and then I won't have any brakes at all to get home. So I'm just gonna keep riding it. Hopefully they don't burn through, and if they do, I don't think brake pads are that expensive. Probably need a new pair on this bike anyway, so. This is a weird question. I don't think I've ever bought brake pads in my life. Do they sell brake pads in sets of 1, 2, 3, or 4? Like, if you buy a motorcycle, do you get a set of 2? And then when you buy a car, do you get a set of 4? Or how does that all work? Can you just buy them singly? Because I don't have any front brakes. I technically just need 2 pads for 1 tire. That scared me. But I wouldn't be opposed to getting 2 sets for 2 tires, technically 4 pads, and then I'd have a backup pair whenever that 1 pair goes bad again. I don't know. I don't know anything about brakes. I've never put brakes on either of my electric dirt bikes, or have I needed to. Hey, car. I need to get a mirror on this bike. That's the only thing I don't like. I don't like having to look behind me. I wish I just had a mirror. I could just look down. Get one of those like little bike mirrors. Although it doesn't look cool on the bike, it definitely makes riding a little nicer. Just not having to constantly look behind you. I don't know if I finished my point. I know I'm like all over the place. Keep forgetting what I'm talking about here. This course I'm going to, all the holes are really short. And instead of 18 holes, there's only 9 of them. So it's technically a pitch and putt. Usually most people, they'll play the whole 9 and then they go back to 1 and just play it 2 times through if they really need 18 holes. But I don't plan on doing that today because we are a lack of time. So probably just play once through 9 holes. Be enough for me to feel like I played and Not sure how much I'm gonna film of it either. I didn't bring a tripod or any way to like put the phone up behind the T-pad. I might try and film some of me just like holding the phone after like my first shot and stuff. But once it's warmer out and it's not so miserable to get here, I will definitely bring all the film equipment with the tripod, everything like that. And we'll do a proper 9 or 18 holes out here where you can see every single throw. You know, I'll film everything from behind the T-pad, set the GoPro up down at the basket so we have multiple angles, do all that fun stuff. Really make it more of a better, it'll be pretty much a disc golf video, where this video while we're going to play disc golf, it's really kind of more me riding on the bike, talking to you guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Anyone need a chandelier? Amazes me the things you find on the road that people just throw out because they're too lazy to either fix it or they're just too ignorant. They don't know how to fix it. I'm pretty sure I'm going back. I want to see that. I drove by it and my brain didn't register what it was. And then once I was by it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's like a car axle that they just stuck up vertically. I wonder what car that goes to. I mean, it's cool. You know what house they are. Interesting. Alright, let's turn around. Ugh. So the park is right up here at the end of this road, just right around the curve. So we're almost there. Whee! Oh, the bike just cut out again. Why? No. It did this earlier, the other day too, where the bike, for whatever reason, just cuts out. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm assuming it has something to do with this broken switch up here, but I really don't know. Oh, that's a problem. I really need this to just magically fix itself. Because one, I was almost there. And two, I really do not want to push this all the way home. That would just absolutely suck. But we are dead, guys. We are dead in the water. This happened to me like a few weeks ago, and I literally didn't do anything. Like that. I mean, it literally just started working again by like basically shaking the bike. Oh man, I do not like that at all. That does not give me confidence. Because that's the second time now that that's happened. So that means there's definitely something wrong somewhere. Either there's a shorted wire, or one of these wires got wet. As you can see, I tried to like Ziploc bag waterproof it for when I was riding out in the snow. So I didn't want anything in there to get wet. But yeah, something is not right, as well as obviously my throttle up here is broke. And you saw the bike run away when we tried to leave. Put the front tire right into the garage door. At least it left a mark, which I know some of you would say, well darn, it left a mark. But my perspective, one, the garage door is already dented, so it's not like I put its first dent in the garage door. And two, every time I see that mark, I'm gonna think of that instance and just laugh, because it was kind of funny, minus the fact that I was freaking out because I didn't know how to get the key out and turn it off. But other than that, it was kind of funny, like, not gonna lie. Hey, there's people here. Looks like we're not playing alone. That's cool. Whee! And what I feared is true, there is a little bit of snow. Pretend like we didn't see that, but I definitely saw that. He missed his putt. Alright, and we have made it. Will we make it home? I guess we will find out after the bike sits here and we turn it off and turn it back on. Thankfully I got a key. I should bring my bike lock and lock it up, but I'm not really that concerned. Like, I mean, there's only 2 other people here and I don't think anyone's gonna steal it. I could pretty much from all, like, the whole park is just right in here. So I can pretty much, from every hole, I can see the bike. So if anyone does try and take it, we're definitely going to see them. But, yeah, get my gloves off here and throw some frisbees. Oh, my bike must have been kicking up some snow or some water, because it is all wet. The good thing is there's just a bunch of frisbees in here, so obviously they are plastic. They don't really care if they get wet. Where's the other one? This one. We want these 4. So, I think I mentioned it earlier, but all of these holes are pretty small. Here's the map. So, let's see. Hole 1, 194. Hole 2, 148. Hole 3, 210. Hole 4, 177. Hole 5, 186. Hole 6, 174. Hole 8. Or no, hole 7, sorry, counting is hard, I know, 230, and then the longest hole is hole 8, 256, followed by hole 9, 203. So basically we start over here, we go this way, we go across the street, and we go that way, this way, zigzag, zigzag, this way, bam, bam, and then we're back basically right where we started. So that is hole 9 right there, is basket, and a T-pad just right there. So it's kind of cool, nice little loop. And I like that it says I am here, so you don't have to guess where you start. Kind of nice. There's also an app that you can use called UDisc, and UDisc has pretty much any course in your area, as well as like past rounds. You can keep your score on there, so then if you go to a course, and let's say I played this course, you know, last week, and I wanted to say, hey, what is my score compared to last week? I just pull up my UDisc and then it'll tell me, and then I'm like, oh, cool, I played worse this week. Dang it. Because that's usually what happens. But, yeah, let's throw some discs. I've been trying to just wait a minute and let those people that were on hole 1 get quite ahead. It looks like they're just playing normal. I usually like to throw a few discs per hole because I'm here, I might as well. But at the same time, we are kind of on crunch time. It's starting to get dark, and because it's so overcast, I can't really see where the sun is, so we're just gonna have to use the old-fashioned clock and wing it. So we just played the first hole. I think what we're gonna do, I know there are a few holes that I can film the drive from because there's trees behind them, and I can put my knife in the tree and then basically put my phone on the knife up against the tree. But the other holes, we're just gonna play, and I will just show you where the discs end up. It's also really easy to show you guys where the baskets are, because all of the baskets are directly straight in front of the T-pads. Hence why this is a 9-hole pitch and putt. Very easy to play. And I can definitely already tell I'm gonna have a wet sock. I'm like trying to walk on my heel like this. I can already feel snow in there. So, look, there's the basket. Here's our discs. Funny enough, I thought this was one of the worst shots. And it's actually, I think, the best shot. But it don't matter, because I threw it low. All the other discs are out here wide. I think that was the first one we threw, and then this was like the second one, and then this was the third one, and then our best one you just saw us completely miss. See if we can make this putt. Nope. Denied. No rewards for cheaters. All right, let's go play off our first disc. See if we can actually get a real putt. Here we go. See if we can put one in. Nope, too high. Should I have just thrown this? Nope, no rewards. Wow, 4 and out. That is rough. That is proof that I have not played disc golf in months, because normally, especially that first one that was really close, I should have made. I'm gonna blame you guys. I'm gonna blame filming for the camera is the reason we missed. Honestly, normally I would make those. So, yeah, bummer. Also, it's kind of muddy and wet, so all these discs are gonna be wet and muddy. That's not ideal. Right, not that bad. So, how disc golf works, it's basically just like golf. You get up to a hole and it says from this tee pad to that hole or to that basket, you should make it in this many shots. And that is what they call their par. So every single hole out here is all a par 3. So if you make your first shot, you know, you made it halfway there, and then your second shot, you get really close, and then your third shot, you make it in, you got a par, which is not negative nor positive. It's even. It's in the middle. It's basically what they expect you to get on the hole. Now, if you get it in 2, so like there, we threw our first shot, and then if I would have made that first blue disc, we would have got a birdie because we would have got it in 2 strokes instead of 3 strokes, which is actually 1 under par. So our score, if we would have got our birdie, would have been -1 on that hole. But because we got a 3, we just parred it. So we're just even. We're not negative. We're not positive. We're right on line where the people who made this course expect us to be. So pars are not bad. Birdies are definitely good. And bogeys are bad. Bogeys are really bad. The bad thing about a bogey is if you get a +1, now you need to get a birdie, a -1, just to cancel out that +1 and get back to even. So this hole right here is right in front of us. It is very short. It is probably the shortest hole on this course. I've got a hole-in-one or an ace on this course, on this hole, more times than any other hole of any course I've ever played. So this is definitely one we 100% want a birdie on. Sorry if you guys are a little crooked. You're currently on the knife that is stabbed in the tree for my tripod. Tee-pad's right here. That basket is straight ahead. I think the rest of these 9 holes, or 8 holes that I had left, I'm only going to throw these 3 discs because I don't feel like the other 20 discs in my bag having to dry them off a bunch. And I'm probably not even really going to dry these off. But at least when I get home, I'll just have 3 discs to clean. We have a Innova Rock, DX Rock, a Trash Panda outer core, and then a Trash Panda inner core. These discs right here are pretty much the same. The only difference, if you look on the bottom, right on the rims, this one, you see that little rim right there? They call that a bead. And the teal one does not have the bead, which makes this disc a lot more overstable. So when you throw it, it wants to go straight and then dump super hard. Where this thing, you throw it and it just wants to stay straight, and it just kind of falls out of the sky pretty straight. You'd call this an understable disc. This would be an overstable disc. I know that kind of gets into the weeds of disc golf, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Here we are, hole 2. I'm probably going to throw this disc. When I started playing disc golf, I forehanded everything. So I stand here like this, and we go and we forehand it. Nowadays, I throw everything on backhand. Like hole 1, I threw all 4 of those discs like this on backhand. Forehand is easier when you're good at it, but for people that aren't good at disc golf, backhand is easier. And I'd say it's probably like 80-20, 70-30 of people that throw backhand over forehand, because throwing forehand just takes a decent amount of practice to get good at. And I don't know, a lot of people just think it's hard. For me, for whatever reason, I find forehand really easy. I do this all the time as a practice, like little drill. Basically, I'm throwing my forehand and I'm just trying to get as much spin on the disc. Discs aren't like balls. Any ball you throw and it's got gravity and a trajectory and it wants to fall out of the sky, where a disc has centrifugal force, and the faster it spins, the farther it goes, theoretically. So frisbees are really weird, but also really cool, because it's the one thing that you throw, and the harder you throw it, the more spin you get on it, the farther it goes, where everything else is like fighting gravity, and it's eventually going to come down, and like you can kind of predict where it's going to come down, where a frisbee, a little bit harder. And I don't know, there's just something really mesmerizing about watching a frisbee go, and then it gets out there, and then it turns, and then it just fades back just effortlessly to the ground. But all right, enough blabbing, let's go play. Basically the whole point of that rant was I'm gonna try and throw forehand on this hole because I'm better with the forehand, and hopefully we can get a birdie, and then we'll throw these 2 on backhand, and we'll move on, hopefully with a birdie on hole 2. So that went perfectly straight. We just got kind of a little bit of a not nice skip at the end. Should still be in birdie range to make our putt. Now let's throw 2 backhands, and then we'll get down there, get our birdie, and hopefully be 1 under after round 1 or hole 2, whatever. I can't talk. I'm just gonna throw. Hit that tree. Thank you. That was terrible. And that is a perfect example of why I'm glad I threw the forehand, because both my backhands were just absolute trash. And my forehand, like I said, should hopefully be parked for a birdie. It's good to trust yourself and know the right throw to throw and the right disc to throw. Like, you have to know your disc and you have to know what you're capable of. Stick to your strengths, especially if you're trying to play for a good score. If you're just playing for fun, then nothing matters. You just throw the disc. But we're out here today trying to get a somewhat decent score. I'd like to at least get, I think 7. I think 7's a good number. I can get all 9 of them, and we can definitely do a 9 under. But I don't see it happening today. 1, I haven't been playing, and 2, I'm just not in the mood to be try hard. I'd rather just be out here kind of more casual, enjoy the round. So I think we are shooting for 7 under is going to be our goal. And we are going to hopefully start right here on hole 2 with this blue disc. Where we landed, here's the basket. And if we miss this, we don't deserve the birdie. Well, I should do more focusing and less talking, apparently. Again, pars aren't negative, but that's just terrible. All right, here we go, hole 3, straight ahead, just like every other hole. It's not bad yet. We are still even, but I would definitely like to have been -1 after that hole. So we got some work to do. We definitely need a birdie right here. Need a good throw, and then we need to make our putt. I just threw the disc so perfect. It hit the pole, and it should just be right there to the side of it. If I don't make this birdie, I'm quitting and I'm going home. Like, this should be a drop in, give me, put it in the basket with my eyes closed. All right, as I said, if I don't make this, we're just going home right now. Which I know I said that on the last 2 holes, but there we go, finally. First birdie, 1 under, on to hole 4. We'd like to be 2 under by now, but that's okay. Our hole 4, and this one's kind of fun because the basket, obviously, still straight ahead, but right between these 2 trees. Now, when you stand here, you'll see there used to be a tree right there. So you pretty much always had to go right between, because the perfect line you wanted to go to the side here and bend it around was blocked by that tree. But now that that tree isn't there, I'd say the majority of people, they just throw the disc like this, and it just makes a nice kind of C around and lands right at the basket. I think that's what we're going to do today. I don't feel like trying to go up the middle. I also really don't feel like burning the disc over and having to go look for it over there in the woods. So we're going to play it safe, which, while it's not the most interesting play, it'll probably give us the best score. Well, this is not good, guys. I threw it exactly on the line I wanted. I just went way too inside, threw the disc on way too much angle, and I still almost skipped in the woods after literally trying not to. Now, I did throw a second shot, which was equally as bad, and thankfully my third shot was really good. Like, my third shot almost skipped in, but my third shot doesn't count. My third shot was just for fun. So this disc that's right here at the base of this tree, that is a nice easy tap in, we don't get to count that disc. We have to play this disc, and then I have to find the other disc. I threw 3. Uh-oh. Did it go in the woods? Did it literally do what I was trying to avoid? Oh no, it's just right here, thank God. I'm glad I don't have to go down there. Not in the mood today. definitely the time of year for it because it's not all green and grown in. But the worst part about playing disc golf, in my opinion, is definitely looking for discs, especially if you don't know where they went. So this was our first shot. That was our third shot. Obviously you can see that's like a gimme, no brainer. This should still be a gimme. Like, I should still make this. If I had been practicing all off season, this would not be a problem. But I haven't, and luckily we still got lucky. Let's go, another birdie. That puts us to 2 down on to hole number 5. Hole 5, pretty easy. Again, like every other hole, straight ahead. You just got this tree right here that you have to avoid. So basically, same line as the last hole. Just throw it wide, let it crash into the basket. Unfortunately, I did not throw mine wide enough. I did not trust the disc. So I think I could have possibly gone down the hill into the crap. Nope, I see it. Cool. We are right on the edge. I don't know if you can see that little blue disc there on the left, but we barely stayed in. Now it's just going to be, can we make the birdie putt, or are we just going to take a par? All right, this is where the strokes really count. The not good throws where you have to make a good putt. Just too low. Man, well, par isn't negative, but a birdie would have been nice. Dang it. I think even worse than missing, look how muddy my disc is. Luckily there's some snow here, we can just wipe it off. But yeah, that's why I'm only throwing a few discs, because I don't really feel like cleaning them all. So honestly, if I wanted to be honest, I could probably birdie every hole here if I just forehanded them all. But to me, that's kind of no fun. Like, the forehand is easy. I don't want to say I've perfected it or mastered it, but backhand is definitely more challenging, more fun. So a hole like this, where I definitely should just throw a forehand, let it swing out wide, crash to the basket, we're gonna go wide again, how we've been doing. We're gonna throw the disc nice and flat right through that gap, let it get up there, have the height, and then it should hopefully just crash right next to it. We threw 2 discs on this hole, and I threw them both pretty perfect. Threw them exactly how I wanted, hit my line, landed right where I wanted. I think the first one's a birdie, but it's one of those that from way back there, sometimes it looks like it's closer than it is, and then you get up here and it's farther than it is. But it also works the other way around. Like hole 1, I thought it was farther than it was, and then I got up there and it was closer. So we will just see when we get up here. Boom. Here we have it. First disc, not too bad. Second disc, absolutely parked. Should be able to put this in, no problem. Although, I've said that I don't know how many times this video, and as you guys can see, and by our score, it's not that easy. Thankfully, we got that one. Someone broke something. Wonder what that was. People out here trying to play disc golf with dinner plates. Get to hole 7, kind of a fun hole. You like kind of shoot from inside the woods here. And then again, basket straight ahead, right in between all those trees. The route is pretty much just wide. Where's my finger? Wide to the side, like all the other holes. This is one of the ones that forehand is actually not good because it's hard to go up the middle. It's pretty easy to stick it wide. Random guy walking his dog right in front of me. Glad I didn't throw any discs and take his head off. So I have played 3 perfect rounds out here, which would be a birdie on all 9 holes, a score of -18. And it's actually not 18, it's -9. So I only played through once. 2 times through would be a -18. Anyways, hole 7, hole 8, those are the 2 holes. If I'm gonna mess up a round, it's always on these 2 holes. I don't know what it is. Hole 7 isn't even the farthest hole. Hole 8 is harder than hole 7 as far as distance goes, and I still somehow always mess up hole 7. Should just be an easy backhand, but I somehow always screw it up. And, of course, today, we did the same thing. So, basket is just right there, and the tee pad is in those woods. And you got this tree to miss, and you got that tree to miss. And, well, My disc is right there. I hit the second tree. Did not throw it wide enough, or I didn't throw the disc flat enough to push forward enough. It was on basically too much of an angle, and it just never got the distance. So this hole for this round is definitely going to be a par. Yeah, needless to say, this hole is definitely going to be a par unless I somehow make a miracle putt. I mean, you can see the basket, and I basically have a tree right where I want to go, so I'm going to have to like throw it wide around. I'm not really trying to make it in. I'm more just trying to get it close to the basket. Perfect. Now our third shot should be nice and easy. Check out this guy. Where's he going? What's he doing? Oh, he's got his dog. He's got his dog with him. All right, this disc is parked. Easy par. Again, pars are not negative. Pars are okay. Just bogeys that are negative. And as long as we don't bogey any of the holes, I'll be happy. And there he goes. So it's interesting, as I've been playing, I've been seeing a bunch of bike trails, like, you know, snow. I've been seeing the tracks like this in the snow from the tires. And I was sitting here wondering, who is out here just riding their bicycle around? Well, I think I just got my answer. I think it was that guy. And because you've got 2 wheels in the front, 3 wheels in the back, I think, to me, the tracks looked like there was more than one bike, but really it's just that guy riding around with his dog. Here we are, guys, hole 8, the hardest and farthest hole on the course, 257 feet, straight ahead, just like every other one. Problem is you got this tree right here, so if you try and go wide this way, you always hit that tree. And then there's this tree right here, so you can't throw it the other way, and you basically are forced to just kind of go up the middle. So definitely playing for par, not trying to get a birdie. A birdie would be nice, but I've birdied this hole like 3 times in my life, so definitely just trying for par here. And we'll move on to hole 9 and then get the heck out of here. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is getting dark quick, and I can feel it getting cold. When I started, it was like 41 degrees. I bet you if I check right now, we're definitely in the 30s. I just checked the weather, 39 degrees, dropping fast. Every hour it's basically getting a few degrees colder, so it is going to be a cold ride home. I might not even film it, it might be that cold. But this hole, we just threw our disc, and because it is the farthest hole out here, and because I'm cold and I haven't been practicing and my backhand form sucks and I just really don't feel like throwing backhand, I threw 2 forehands. Now the first forehand flipped up a bit, was looking pretty good, and then the disc just never came out of it. Like, basically I threw the disc too hard. And then the second disc flipped up, was going nice and flat, nice and flat, nice and flat, and then I forgot, oh yeah, this disc is overstable, and it dumped super hard to the opposite direction. So basically I got one disc on this side of the basket, and then my other disc is over there in that cluster of 4 trees somewhere. Luckily, this was my second shot, so that means we get to play the first shot over there in the trees. The question is just going to be, is it close enough to make the putt, or do we just lay it up, take our par, and move on? Let me know if you spot the disc. Oh, there it is. I see it. Sometimes I look right at this thing and it's just stinking invisible. And then here we are, right behind our disc. This is where we gotta make our putt from. You guys see the basket? What? You don't see it? It's right there. Right stinking there behind that dang tree again. So it's a putt I could make. Definitely not a gimme. But usually when I putt, I have my feet in a line like this. And then you're right behind the disc and you kind of rock off that back foot, and I get all my power from the back foot. But because this putt is behind the tree, I'm gonna have to step to the side here and do what they call a straddle putt. And I suck at those, so I don't plan on making this. Am I going to try and make it? Of course. Do I realistically think I'm going to make it? Heck no. But all we can do is try. Here we go. Right into the basket. Just don't hit the tree. Let's go! I never birdie this hole. Sweet, that makes up for hole number 2. Let's go. Yes. Sometimes you just got to give it a chance. We are at hole 9. I said I wanted to be at 7 down. We're currently at 4 down. So the best we could get would be a 4 down, or sorry, best we could get would be a 5 down, or if we got a hole in one, if we aced, we could technically get 6 down. Am I going to get an ace? Probably not. Have I got one before on this hole? I actually have. That is another story for another day. I've actually aced like 5 of the 9 out here, I think it is. I was trying to get all 9 in one summer, and we came close. But yeah, here we are, hole 9. Every other hole, that basket is straight ahead, which is arguably the hardest throw in disc golf, to just throw the disc straight. And there's this nice tree right here that likes to swallow all the disc if you try and throw them how we've been throwing them. So this hole, I'm actually going to throw the disc on what they call anhyzer. So if you throw the disc flat, it's just flat. If you throw it like this, they call this hyzer. And if you throw it like this, they call it anhyzer. And depending on the stability of the disc, like some of them, you throw it like this and it never is going to come out. It's just going to stay like this the whole way. Some discs you throw like this and they actually go like this, and then they do something like this, and then they might go like this. Like, discs do crazy things depending on if it's understable, overstable, and then what angle you release it on. So I think these guys are going to throw like this. And again, just really playing for par here, but a birdie would be nice. Based off those throws, I definitely don't think I'm going to birdie this hole. Definitely just going to get a par, which means we're going to finish at 4 under on this little 9-hole pitch and putt out here, which isn't terrible. Definitely below my average. Like I said, I usually get a 6 or a 7. I've gotten 3 9s, so it is possible. You can birdie every hole. It's just really hard to do, and you got to make all your putts. You can't miss putts like on hole 2, where it's just a gimme and you just completely airball it, or hit the chains and chain out. You can't be doing that to get a perfect score. So it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. Unfortunately, we are kind of out of daylight. I think it looks brighter on camera than it is in person. I'm starting to have trouble seeing the basket and like where my discs are going. So I'm going to get home. I don't even think I'm going to put the GoPro on. It's just too stinking cold. So I think I just told you guys, I'm not going to film on the way home. It is just too stinking cold, not to mention pretty boring. I mean, you saw the ride here. But I do want to go out by the river before it gets too dark. You can see the parking lot lights just came on. And the river is just right over there through those trees. So we're back at the bike. No one stole it. Let's go check out the river. I'm curious how frozen it is. Oh my gosh, I am so cold. I just made it home and my right foot is absolutely freezing because of that hole in my shoe. Let all that cold air in. Left foot, doing okay. My right foot, I don't even know if you can tell. It is all wet and it's cold. That's probably why it was cold, is because it was wet. Oh, this heater feels good. I wish I had a wood burning fireplace in my house. That would be nice. Went out into my workshop earlier to grab a drill for tomorrow. And you see that little black mark that looks like a line right in the middle of the screen? Pretty sure that's a stinking sliver. Because every time I touch it, of course I don't want to focus, it hurts. So I'm going to use my knife here and hopefully dig it out. We got it. I don't know if that was a metal shaving or a piece of wood or what, but definitely was a sliver. Glad it's not in my hand anymore. Alright guys, today's knife of the day is going to be, drumroll, the TW Price Dawn. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how much I love this knife. This is the liner lock version, or an inset liner lock. And what's kind of nice about it is you don't have to worry about that slit right there with the frame and having too much pressure with your fingers on the back side. So Spidey flick, super easy. Roll the knife out like old school, super easy. Front flip it, super easy. Front flip it with the index finger, super easy. Reverse front flip, super easy. And to round it out, you can just do the gravity flip. This knife basically is all the pros of the frame lock, but better because it's an inset liner lock, so you don't have to worry about the frame lock getting in the way there as far as the pressure goes. Now, this has the milled texture that's just the lines, which is the traditional Dawn. He also has a few of Dawns, which, like this one here, have a different texture on them. And this is actually one of the frame lock versions. So it is a tiny bit thinner. I don't think I'm going to be able to show it on video because I have no way to like put them side by side. All right, here's the best I can do. I don't know if you can tell, but those blue slabs are just a little bit thicker. The one on the right, obviously you can see a little bit thinner. Not anything you really notice while carrying, but being the one is a frame lock versus the other one being that inset liner lock, it's definitely a difference. Knife of the day, TW price Dawn. Liner lock, frame lock, doesn't matter. I'd say just get one first and then decide if you need the other or not. But good luck finding them because, like I said, dude's not making them anymore. So it's basically the secondary you have to go to, and I'm not really sure what the current state of that is. But yeah, that's my knife of the day. Probably my favorite, one of my favorites, like definitely top 3, top 5 favorite knives I own. I love the Dawn. Yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure you guys like, favorite, share, do what you got to do. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, guys, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye! Whoa, hello, bike, hello, runaway bike. What the